Hey friends, happy almost Thanksgiving. It is Cassie and I am stoked to be here again because I am sharing another super cool thing that I found with you today. So let's get started. So what I'd like to talk about today is a way to create slides and share them on Google Classroom so that way anytime you update the slides from your own computer, it'll update on your students as well. That way you can literally push content out to students on those Google Slides. I think it would work great with journal prompts if you wanted to do an entire unit of journal prompts. It would work great with units in general. It would work great with assignments, with assessments, with anything where you're going to have a long thing where you would like things to be cohesive and organized. This would be awesome for it. So let's get started. The first thing I do want to note is that I downloaded these slides, which are gorgeous, from Slidesmania. I highly recommend Slidesmania. It's a great place. Yeah, it's awesome and fun and really fantastic. So here's what we're going to talk about today. Number one, how to set up this amazing, exciting thing. And then number two, some ideas that I have for how to use this in the classroom. So let's get started. Now, first things first, what we're going to do is we're going to decide what we're going to use this for. So as you can tell, I've already decided that I want to do some kind of journal prompts with my students for the entirety of this unit. So let's say that my unit in the past has lasted about 20 days. That will let me know, okay, I've got 20 days. I need to make sure that I have at least 20 slides. If I scroll down, you'll note that I have 23 slides. Now, the reason I have 23 slides instead of the original 20 is because I want just a little extra wiggle room. If I wanted to go further, I could do 25 or 30, whatever I wanted. Just the big thing is, whatever you're going to use this for, make sure you have that many slides ready and prepared because otherwise it will not work correctly. At this moment in time, I am not necessarily worried about what my slides look like. I have my background there, but I don't have to worry about anything else because it's going to be able to update automatically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the first slide and I'm going to click Control A. That will highlight every single slide in the slideshow. Then I am going to click Control C. That will copy every single slide in this slideshow. Now I know this sounds crazy. Stay with me. We're going to go to Google Drive. We're going to click New and we're going to open up a new slide. Now that we have our blank slide open, we can name it if we want to. So Unit 3 Journal, and I'm going to go ahead and delete this first slide because we don't need it. Now I have this completely blank slide document. I'm going to go ahead and paste in my previous slides. Now when it comes up, it's going to give me 3 different options for how I'd like these to be pasted in. I can either keep the original formatting, I can paste it in so that the formatting matches with the current slides, or I can link and keep the original slides. We're going to link and keep the original slides. Once you link them and keep them, and once you're ready to go, anytime that you look at the top of your slides, you will see this link button right there. That just lets you and your students know that that directly relates to the slides that you own. So this is a copy of the slides that you own. Even if you put these slides on Google Classroom and make a copy for each of your students, they'll still appear like this, which means anything you put on your original 23 slides will appear also on their slides. So here's what it looks like. Let's say I am going to go to slide 2 and I want to change these journal prompts around a little bit. Are you ready for 4th grade notes I am most excited about, ... So now they have a place where they can put their information. So let's say you wanted to create something for them to do whenever they come into class. You could say, all right, come into class, take a seat. Open up your journal slides, go to slide 2, and click Update. Now, when your students click Update, what it's going to do is it is going to automatically put the content that you put on your original slide on their slide. The only thing that they'll have to do whenever they log in is click that Update button, which you can remind them to do if they forget at any time. But yeah, it's super cool. And then if our student were to type inside of this box, it appears on theirs, but because they're 2 separate but linked things, it won't appear on ours. So the master remains as it is. So a couple of ideas that I'm really stoked about for this. Number 1, is using this for some kind of a journal prompt or some kind of assessment tracker or formative tracker for an entire unit. So if you wanted to do an entire unit for here are the assessments, so that way your students have everything they need to study in one place, you could update these assessments as you go through. So slide number 3 could be your assessment number 3, slide number 4 could be formative 4. You could put all of those things in there, so that way they could just go in, see all the things that they've done, complete the next one, and then go forward from there, which is really cool. You could also use this as kind of a way to teach your lessons as well. What I mean by that is if you wanted to include formative assessments, if you wanted to include pieces of information or activities for them to do inside of these, you definitely could. You would just have to make sure that you have the correct number of slides in here when you copy and paste it over. So if you know throughout your unit that you are only going to do 5 formative assessments and 2 major activities, then you really need 7 slides. But of course, I always recommend going a little bit over because you can edit them, you can change them, or you can delete them. The one thing that you cannot do once you copy and paste slides over is add slides. If I were to add slides to my original one, those new slides would not appear in here, which is where one of the ideas comes from. If you were to make slide 2, for example, if you were to make slide 2, for example, the slide that's going to be your assessment, you could add slides and you could put content in between your assessments. The students won't see your content though, they'll just see the assessments, which is super cool and so exciting because then you are building something that works for you but works differently for them, but you still get to push out content. That's awesome and so exciting. But yes, I am super excited about this. I wish that I had this when I was teaching high school or even 6th grade. This is just super cool and it's a great way to keep me and my students organized. I hope this was helpful and I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving break. Bye guys, see you at school.